Being an anime fan back when High School of the Dead first came out was a wild time. This was back in 2010 when anime wasn't quite mainstream yet. And if y'all remember, this was back when AMVs were popping off with the Linkin Park soundtracks and the memes were just pictures with this big ass text on top. Like this one with some anime girl going, "Aw shit, Nick." So to see an anime like High School of the Dead come out back then, it obviously got a lot of attention. Everyone was dying to see some insane anime with a zombie apocalypse breaking out. But we all know the real reason that people look back on it even today. As decent as it was to see these high schoolers surviving a zombie apocalypse, you gotta admit it's insane that this was the main focus of it all. But of course, we love to talk about anime games around here, and today we have to talk about Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter. Now this isn't a High School of the Dead game by any means, but it's gotta be the closest that we've ever had to one. We got the high schoolers, we got the zombies, and we even got a little bit of the other stuff too, even if it's kind of random and out of place. So let's jump in and see if this is a hidden gem or if it belongs in the bargain bin. We get to play as 5 girls trapped inside of this high school filled with zombies. They all have their own special skills and weapons of choice. The main character is Sayori, a girl with the weirdest fucking hairstyle I've seen in a minute. It's like she made a little cave out of her hair for these panda barrettes to sleep in. She uses a handgun and her melee weapon is a wooden sword because of course you gotta have that one girl from the kendo club. Then we have Risa, who has these twin tails and uses assault rifles and a polearm. Then Mayaya has a name that sounds like that annoying ass anime meme from years ago. And her main weapons are an SMG and a bat. And Nami uses a sniper rifle and just kicks the shit out of people. Then finally Rei uses a shotgun and also beats the shit out of people. The girls have unique personalities just like you'd expect, and it leads to a lot of development between them. Like in chapter 3 when a few of the girls go missing and the others struggle through to get them back. Even if a lot of this wasn't too deep or interesting, it's still cool to see how the girls feel about one another, because a few of them have some bonds that go back before all this happened, and some of that gets put to the test. But if you couldn't tell already, the plot here is very simple. Just like you'd expect, the goal is to survive and figure out what caused all this to take place. There's some weird stuff here with underground facilities and mystical gates and a special police force created to fight off zombies. But this whole game is a spin-off of the Oneechanbara series, so I'm not that surprised with all the extra weirdness. Like, I wouldn't go into this expecting to see some absolute cinema, but if what you want is some mindless zombie shooting fun, then you'll get a decent amount of that. But I will admit, it's not exactly the best. You see, the gameplay here feels very lacking. You run through missions, you meet new girls, and you fight plenty of zombies. And that sounds simple enough, right? But the controls are some of the worst I've seen in a third-person shooter. Like, normally you'd expect L2 to aim and R2 to shoot, but nah, on the PS5 controller, you aim with the X button. Not only that, but it toggles, so you gotta press it once to zoom in and press it again to zoom out. And even with the sprint and jump buttons, those are all over the place. So the very first thing that you should do is hop in that control menu and get it back to what it should be. But even after you get past the control issue, some of the gameplay here just feels a bit dated. And maybe I'm a little bit biased because the third-person shooter that I play the most is Fortnite. And hey, you can say whatever you want about that, but I love those skins. So going from a game like that has more fluid shooting and running and aiming to play this just felt like a really jarring experience. Like, I won't lie, I've played Fortnite creative levels that felt better than this. And the zombies here have some different variations, like the ones that are chunky, the ones that crawl on the ceiling, and even these gym bros that are tough to take down quickly. And nothing here is impossible, but a lot of these levels can get annoying when they keep throwing new enemies at you. Like, some stages literally don't stop spawning new enemies until you complete an objective, and you can find yourself swarmed pretty fast. And it could be as simple as taking them out with your weapons, but again, it felt like a chore at times. Luckily, there's a lot of weapon abilities that you'll get as you make your way through the story. So besides the types of weapons, each one can have a set of skills like rapid fire, better accuracy, higher attack, and a bigger magazine. and a lot of these can be perfect when you get into certain stages. Like if you need to protect one of these devices from getting destroyed, it's better having a weapon that blasts away the zombies so you don't need to kill them before they get too close. But that also means that you have to be careful when selecting your loadout before each mission. I had a few missions where I was stuck just because I brought in weapons with totally different skills than I should have, and I had to start over from the beginning. So it's important to pay attention to the kind of level you're about to walk into beforehand. And there's different types like destination where you have to make it to a certain point to finish the mission. Some of those are kind of easy and you could almost skip past all the combat if you know exactly where to go. Then there's some levels where you need to collect key cards before time runs out. Now these levels gave me a fucking headache because they don't make it easy to find these things. One level I got stuck on for a while because they had the key cards scattered across different floors of a building where the rooms looked damn near exactly the same. But for the levels where you have to defeat bosses, those are pretty straightforward. Some of those levels even give you NPC versions of the girls too, so they'll help you fight through whatever's in your way. And that's supposed to be a taste of the online mode where you can play missions with up to 4 other people. But since this game is already 7 years old, you won't be finding too many people to play with. Even for a game that costs like $10 when it's on sale, these missions are really short. Like yeah, it's an arcade shooter, so most of what you do is enter a level, complete a task, and then it's over. But like half of these missions can be finished in under 5 minutes without putting in any effort. And by the end of it, you can totally go back and replay missions, do some extra side quests, or even play on a harder difficulty. But for the time that I spent with it going through the main story, I don't think I would put too much more time into this. Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter is a game that's quick and has some interesting ideas mixed in. You can finish it in under 10 hours, so if you're looking for some mindless zombie shooting on a budget, this is totally an option. I wouldn't say it's the best option out there, but hey, to each his own. And yeah, this wasn't the High School of the Dead game I was hoping for, but just like the second season of the anime, I'll keep dreaming of it. Let me know your thoughts on Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the Oneechanbara series, let me know what game I should play next. This is technically my second so far, so maybe I can jump back into Z2 Chaos and give it another shot. Subscribe for more videos just like this one, and I'll see you all in the next video.